Hi friends, this is our last lecture on of superstition by Francis Bacon. We saw in our first lecture we saw that it's better to have no opinion about God than have unworthy opinion about God. If you have no opinion, that is atheism. And if you are making unworthy opinions, then that is contumely. Contumely means abusive language. Contumely is greater towards God and also greater, that is greater harm we are doing to God and the deity, the name of God, and a danger to men also. Atheism takes you to your sense, rationality, then your philosophy, laws, moral laws, natural piety, moral virtue, and so on. You are free that way. But superstition, as we have seen, it is an absolute opinion. That's true. The only opinion, that's an absolute opinion. Atheism, we know that it never perturbs or disturbs state and civil life. As for example, at the time of Augustus Caesar, Rome was having a very nice period. It's a glorious Rome, this is art and literature. And we have the Augustan age in English literature. And then he says, men are the makers of superstition and wiser men follow fools. Second lecture is mostly about the Council of Trent. How the prelates in the Council of Trent made use of schoolmen to create stratagems, theorems, and axioms and so on, based on the philosophy of Aristotle, to support or justify the wrong practices of the church, such as the church believed that the world is geocentric, but Copernicus and later Galileo proved that it is not so. But the Council of Trent, the prelates wanted to establish the fact that it's, Copernicus and Galileo later were wrong. So that's, we can say, superstition again. And finally, in the second lecture we also saw the causes of superstition, that is some pleasing and sensual rituals, excess of outward pharisaical holiness. Outward holiness, that means not inward holiness, outward. Letter of the law, we said, not the spirit of the law. Then overgreat, we saw that observance of, reverence of traditions. It has been like that, so it should be like this. That is overgreat, excessive reverence of tradition. Then strategies of prelates, means officials of a religion, to control human beings and get money, that is, influence humans and get money, favoring of much good intentions. You go to somebody saying you want to satisfy your intentions, then they will propose something. You do it in this way, and then you will get it. Then taking aim at the divine. So such people also will say that we have got the power with the divine, and whatever we pray or ask, God will give. And finally we saw the time of barbarous times, or we saw calamities and disasters, natural disasters that people make, or those who are interested in doing such things, means superstitions, and believing superstitions, they become victims of such people. Such people means officials of a religion. Officials of a religion, or they themselves will say that I am God, as we have seen God-men practicing religion. So up to that we have come. And now superstition without a veil is a deformed thing. Without a veil means without a cover. Open superstition is a deformed thing. Deformed means a dirty thing. Deformed, that is lost its form. So when we die, we will lose our form. no, isn't it? After 2 or 3 days, then how terrible it will be, like that. It is a deformity. For as it addeth deformity to an ape to be so like a man. This is just like giving a makeup to an ape to look like a man. So, the similitude of superstition to religion makes it the more deformed. So, if you say that it is part of religion, or religion advocates superstition in this way, do in this way, that will be, he says, corrupting religion. And as the wholesome meat, he compares that to healthy meat, is corrupted by worms. Worms means bacteria. So good forms and orders corrupt into a number of petty observances. So religious practices are such, they are good, they are wholesome, they are healthy, like healthy meat. But then what happens? This healthy meat can be corrupted by a bacteria. Exactly like that. Good religious practices can be corrupted by a touch of superstition. So, see, in religious practice, good religious practices, you don't shed blood of humans. You don't shed blood of animals. But in superstitions, they do that. So that kind of way, that it becomes deformed. Religion as such becomes deformed. There is a superstition. Another point is, there is a superstition avoiding superstition. That is also. Now, you have been following a particular superstition, like a time now, you give a certain time, certain days, say Friday for example, it's bad for starting a new business. But Wednesday is good, people say. Same day, or even Thursday is good. And then Saturday is not a good day for anything to do. So this kind of beliefs, that is so embedded in our mind. Therefore, to avoid that superstition, you are afraid. That's what Bacon said. There is a superstition in avoiding superstition. When men think to do best, if they go furthest from the superstition formerly received, so they think that it is better to adhere to the superstitious beliefs they have been practicing or they have received from their younger days. That's what they think. So they don't want to do anything, any change. Certain times now, what you call, I think sometimes you may be learning Rahu card. The Rahu thing, when the day is being overpowered by a star, isn't it? Plus, I think it is star. And then Rahu is or what is Saturn. So these things people consider that it is not good to start, but not an auspicious time. When the Rahu has the power, the Saturn has the power over a particular time of the day, or say days, or part of a month sometimes, or part of a year. People are afraid to do something auspicious, start something auspicious. Now this is a belief, a superstition with them. And people don't want to avoid that superstition. Because fearing that if you go away from that, something bad will happen. There's, as I think I have already told you about breaking bottles, glass. Supposed to be, or when you see, you are going out for a journey, suddenly you see a black cat. Cat is black because it is black. It is born like that. Now, how can a black cat become a bad omen? Omens, for say, you believe in omens nowadays. So, or you see an owl, so it's a bad omen. People think like that. They are all animals and birds, the innocent beings. But we are ascribing or attributing evil ways or evil ideas, evil concepts on them. And so that if you look at them, then something bad will happen. So these things are beliefs. So such superstitions you don't want to avoid. And that itself is a superstition. That's the thing. So then receive therefore care would be had that as it fareth in all purgings. So suppose you want to purge means purify a religion of superstitious beliefs. You have to be very careful. Otherwise what will happen? You will throw good practices of religion and also superstitions together and then destroy the whole thing. Like there's a saying, don't throw the baby with the bath water. So that will happen. If you are not careful in purifying or purging means purify. Purgatory, there is, according to Catholic, according to Christian religion and theology, there are, after our death, we have three options. We don't have options, the options are already fixed. One is, you go to, it's only two options. Three options. One is purgatory, means purifying state, the other is hell, and the other is heaven. Holy men directly go to heaven. The semi-holy people, they are sent to purgatory for purifying. And the sinners, that they will be thrown directly into hell. So that is the Christian theology says like that. After death, what will happen? This is. Now, what I am trying to tell you is this. If you have got any such purging, yes, when I was talking to you about purgatory when we came to purging. So if you have good intentions to purge the religion, any religion of superstitions, you should be careful. Otherwise what will happen? You will throw superstitions, you will throw good practices of religion, healthy practices of religion along with the superstition. Then the healthy practices will not remain there. So it is just like as I already told you, don't throw the baby with the bath water. And also the good are taken away with the bad, which commonly is done when people is the reformer. When people are reforming this can happen. Therefore be careful about purging. So today we have seen that superstition is a deformed thing. It is a deformed thing. It's a very, that is, something is deformed means you bad. It appears to be very bad. I told you about your body after death. Say 3 days after death. Deformed. So superstition is like that. So therefore it is, so the similitude of superstition to religion makes the more deformed. Therefore, if you have in any religion there is a touch of superstition, the religion also becomes corrupt. He gives two examples for that. One is a healthy meat corrupted by bacteria. The other is you are putting on a makeup of a human being on an ape. Both looks deformed. Both look deformed. Then he says, there is a superstition, avoiding superstition. So that's what I already told you. Certain fixed beliefs. You know you are a rational human being, or you move only by reason. But even then, something really you are going to do, you are afraid of. Avoiding a superstitious belief, thinking or fearing that something bad will happen. That's again a superstition. Underneath this, superstitions can be, religions can be purified, or so by removing superstitions you can purify religions. In that case we should be very careful, otherwise along with bad practices, good practices also will disappear. When the humans do such kind of reformation or purifying or purging, so we should be very careful about that. So a lot of things, a lot of ideas about superstition, and whatever the whole essay, if you read, you will find that Bacon is totally against superstition. And superstition entering into the body religion, and it will corrupt the religion. Good religions will be corrupted by entry of superstitious belief and superstitious rituals. There are many like that. So he says that be very careful, and it's better not to fall a prey to superstition. I think that it is clear to you, my explanations are clear to you. you are enjoying my classes, and in that case you should like, share and subscribe. But before you leave, please look at this. We have got something to carry home with about Corona, and that is: speak not in public, gather not in public, wander not in public, entertain not in public, to protect our private life. And dear friends, we are in very difficult times, as you know. So as far as possible, not as far as possible, we must. There is no as far as possible, 100%. We must obey whatever the governments and the good people tell us to do, medical people tell us to do. If I protect myself, in a way I am protecting the entire human race. So each one protects himself. Then all together we are protecting the human race. Survival of the human race is in danger. So it is our duty, each one of us, it's our duty to do the best of what we can to protect ourselves, each one, and the human race and mankind as such. So hope that you will take it seriously and do it. So till we meet again, bye. Have a nice time. Enjoy your life. Bye.